Hello, and welcome to Healthy Habits, where things are seldom perfect, but I am still making progress. I am learning to replace old habits with new, healthier ones. I hope that you can find something useful or inspiring in the things that I share here, or at least leave with a smile. Well, it's September. I didn't give a tour in August, but it was so hot and everything was so overgrown. Now that I've got it cleared out a bit and organized, it's time for a September garden tour. So I thought I'd start out in the front yard with this beautiful butterfly bush just full of butterflies. Everywhere you look, there's a butterfly on a leaf, or well, on a flower, and they just keep coming. Pumpkins have all been harvested and everything mowed down. This area here, I'm not mowing. It was the second time I've let this grow out for wildlife. And the front yard volunteer tomatoes have been doing well. I've harvested a couple already. You can see here I've laid out space for 2 more beds for next year. These are going to be flowers, sunflowers, zinnias, and then again more sunflowers in the back. I have harvested all the sunflowers and chopped down the stalks. Now let's head to the backyard to see what's happening. Okay, this bed used to have green beans and a cantaloupe, and now all that's left is a little bit of rosemary. So it is ready to be put to bed. It's got its straw waiting for it. See, the flamingos are about to head south. And now let's head on over to the strawberries. I've got those all cleared out of all the dead leaves and old strawberries, so these fresh ones can grow and send out some more runners. These are everbearing, so you'll see they still have some flowers and even some strawberries growing on them. Okay, so this bed has some carrots and marigolds, and then it does have a couple green beans that were planted a little later. They still have some flowers on them, still might get a couple of green beans. Some peppers, one is red and one is a black beauty. This end of the bed, there's sage growing. I've cut it back several times, but it is still just growing and it's kind of choking out these green beans on the other side, so not much hope of them doing anything. Now over to the next bed, there's tomatoes growing all over the place. Just tomatoes, 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 everywhere. There's also a little bit of oregano in here and a zucchini just getting started. The next bed is sweet potatoes. You can see that they have taken over the entire bed, and this is just from one sweet potato. One little cutting, not even a whole sweet potato. Just one little cutting has taken over the whole entire box. And you can see it's growing out of the box and taking over the ground around it. So there should be plenty of sweet potatoes this year. So in the two new beds, one is not going to be used until the spring, so it's holding the straw for all the other beds. And then this bed that was filled just a little while ago has zucchini growing. Got at least 4 zucchinis growing here on those two plants. Peas came up nicely. They need to be thinned out a little bit, but they look good. There's a broccoli, a pepper, and then sprinkled here and there in here is spinach and a couple kinds of lettuces. So you see the grapes are taking nicely to the trellis that we finished up this summer, growing all over the top. It'll be some nice shade. The fall project is to get this, the rest of the pathway finished, dig that up and place the stones so that the path goes all the way around from the shed to here. And I haven't done much with these wildflowers right now. Don't want to cut them back yet because there's still a lot of insects still around who will be living in there and using it. So those look kind of a mess, but I will trim it back a little bit, but not gonna like mow it down or anything because this is where the insects live. Another fall winter project is this raspberry and blackberry trestle because it is one big hot mess. And there's one at the end is trying to take over into my blueberries, so we can't have that. The in-ground bed looks kind of a mess, but it is really a mixture of sweet potato and marigold. There's also a couple peppers thrown in there too. But this again was one sweet potato and it's shaking over a nice big patch. This pepper is a black beauty. There's 2 of them on it right now. In this bed is the cherry tomato, and I had to give it a huge trim because it was, again, taking over the yard. There's basil in this bed and hot peppers. Now that there are a few cool nights, we've gone back to making a little fire now and then. Ah, just the way I like them. A little extra footage of these butterflies. I just can't get enough of them.